Hello everybody. Today we're going to be doing chi-square on Excel. And the fact pattern I'm going to be using reads as follows. A social work researcher is interested in knowing whether neighborhood composition, minority or non-minority, is related to whether burglary cases are more likely to be solved or closed. In other words, solved means closed in this case, or remain open. This researcher collected the following data. For non-minority neighborhoods, 5 burglary cases remained open while 12 were closed or solved. For minority neighborhoods, 10 burglary cases remained open while 3 were closed or solved. So we're going to apply this fact pattern, and it's going to be, of course, a chi-square on Excel. And so when I open it up on Excel, it looks as follows. There it is. So we already know that we're going to be dealing first with the observed value. So I'm just going to put an O up here. Notice that I put already the borders in. So you can do that, and feel free to pause if you need to. We already said that we're going to have in terms of neighborhood composition, we're going to have non-minority, and we're going to have minority. Okay. We also know that cases could be either open or they could be closed. And we know that whenever we're doing a chi-square cross tabulation, the end column, and the end row, are going to be the totals, and the end value will be in the bottom right cell. So let's go ahead and go back to our fact pattern real quick, and we're going to figure this out. So for non-minority neighborhoods, we had 5 cases open and 12 closed. So let's go back. So 5 cases open, 12 closed, and we can just go ahead and put the total in there on the end. Okay, it's going to be 17. And let's go now to research our minority neighborhood statistics. So we had 10 burglary cases open while 3 were closed. Okay. So we'll go for the minority neighborhood, 10 remain open, 3 were closed. And we're going to go adding across 13. Okay. If we start down here with the totals, 5 plus 10, 15, okay, and 12 plus 3 is going to be 15 again. And that's good because, as you can see in the final in cell, 17 plus 13 is 30, and so is 15 plus 15. So we have it correct. You know that anytime you do a chi-square, it's not only the observed values that need to be found, but also the expected. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut and paste. So I'm going to hold down my control, and I'm going to say C. Okay, there we go. So 1 second, let me try that again. Okay, C. Now, let's try that one more time. So we'll go like that. C, there it is. Okay, now I'm going to hit Control V. Okay, after those little lines are around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say E for expected values here. I'm also going to have to take out the observed value because that won't work here. Okay, I can do that to straighten this up. Remember with Excel, the magic key is the equal sign. So when I hit equal and I want to find the expected value for the first cell, I'm going to go ahead and touch this value, which is it's saying the cell is on the column H and the row 5, so that makes sense. So it's 15. And for Excel, we don't use multiplication signs to multiply. We use the asterisk. It's just the language that Excel reads. We'll go over here and we'll touch on this total because that's, of course, how you find the expected value. And then once that's been multiplied, you have to divide by the n, which is right there. And when I have all of these pieces together, notice that the division, this tells Excel to divide this I think it's a /. Okay. Hit enter and it's going to give us the expected value. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. And I should get the same amount, so I'm going to just touch that 15, and then I'm going to do the asterisk, and we're going to do 17. Okay, I'm going to do the /. Don't forget to put the n value to divide by. Okay, same thing. Well, same process down here. Okay, touch on this. Okay, multiply times the total in this cell. Okay, which is 13, and we're going to divide by 30. And when I hit enter, it gives me the value. Okay, and finally, we're going to go that way. Okay, we're also going to hit another asterisk there because we're going to multiply times that. forward slash, excuse me, 30. Okay, when I hit enter, there it is. Now with Excel, it's not going to give us a calculated value. It's actually going to give us the p-value. So I'm going to go ahead and put p equals here. I'm going to come over to this cell right here, which I'm going to give me some space to do the work. Okay, when I hit equals, because that's the magic activation key for Excel, and then I hit capital C, it's going to give me a menu, and I'm going to choose the one that says the chi-square test. If I just double click on it, it opens it up, and it's going to give me some prompts, and it says actual range and expected range. Well, actual range is nothing more than the observed values, and it's just the observed values, not the totals. So if I put my cursor up here and I highlight these, notice it's already filling up right here. If I hit the comma, it locks it in. Now it's a solid line. Okay, now it's wanting me to give the expected range. So I'll go ahead and put that in. Again, it's filling up for me. Very, very, very convenient. Okay, and then once I have both values selected, I just hit enter. It's going to give me a p-value. The p-value here is going to be 0.009907, which is very, very small. Now, for purposes of deciding whether or not to accept or reject the null hypothesis, which in this case, of course, is, okay, the null hypothesis reads, neighborhood composition of minority or non-minority neighborhood has no relationship with whether or not burglary cases are open or closed. So in order to decide to accept or reject that, I have to do something with this value right here, the p-value. And we already know that in social sciences, okay, that if you have a p-value, okay, and the standard is 0.05, if your p-value is at or below 0.05, you're going to reject the null hypothesis. So what does this tell us here? Well, obviously we have a number here, and if you need to see this a little more distinctly, we could just go like that. See? Okay, which one of these is bigger? Clearly, the 0.05 is larger, or the 0.01 is smaller. So our p-value for the calculation we have here is smaller than 0.05. Therefore, we will reject the null. Okay, and that's about all there is to it. Now, if you're doing a research paper and you're doing the findings, you can feel free to use all of this information as tables. And you can actually create another small table below with the p-values if you like. There's some ways you can do this. So that's pretty much all I have to show you about this. It's not too difficult. Once you learn the steps, it's pretty easy. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it made sense to you. Take care.